Batman. One of the songs I hate the most by Prince is Bat Dance. Let that be known. I am a huge Prince fan, but Bat Dance is a song I couldn't stand. So let that be known for the record. Now, let's get to why we're here. Now, Prince had just worked on an album called Love Sexy. And while working on Love Sexy, Warner Brothers was getting ready to go into production for a major haul on the film Batman, bringing the comic book hero back to the big screen, the movie theater. It had tremendous buzz, and they wanted to bring a guy who could bring the dark side out. Bring all of that raw energy that he had from Pee Wee's, Herman's, Big Adventures, to Beetlejuice, all of these two successes out the box, bring in the very weird but very effective Tim Burton. So Tim Burton was put in charge of this major motion picture. Jack Nicholson is the Joker. Michael Keaton, who played Beetlejuice, is going to be Batman. This is a huge mistake. The studio was nervous. The only person who wasn't nervous was Tim Burton. He knew that this would be the case. And they tried to, DC, Warner Brothers, they're trying to get him familiar with comic book lore and try to say, okay, these are the characters, this is what we want to do, this is how we want it done. We got to introduce these characters. And Harvey Dent, he's one of the characters in the film. And first, they were like, we got to get someone to play these characters that are iconic. And Jack Nicholson is was saying for music, and they have a musical number and all these different things. And the studio kind of suggested it and used Jack Nicholson to work on Tim Burton to agree to have Prince brought into the fold. Warner Brothers was having problems with Prince, and as far as his music, his focus, and him oversaturating the market with music, and he doesn't understand their jobs, and he thinks they're trying to contain him, and he doesn't realize he's flooding the market with too much material to take in at one time. So after doing Love Sexy, he spearheads it. As soon as the Batman project is brought up, and the idea of Prince being Harvey Dent, Warner Brothers thought, like, wouldn't that be a great idea if we was to make Prince? It's a small role, but Prince in the movie, and he's doing the soundtrack. Imagine Prince as Harvey Dent. That would be incredible. So Warner Brothers wanted that idea from the very beginning. Prince could pull it off. So the talk after the success of, you know, the first Batman film, they talked about How about making Prince Harvey Dent instead of Billy D. Williams? They didn't really think too much of Harvey Dent or moving forward when they made the first Batman film until they saw that money from that marketing. The Batman buttons were selling like hotcakes. Michael Jackson was never ever suggested for the film. Tim Burton loved Prince. He saw him in London twice. Loved him as an artist. Hated the fact they put Prince in his movie. Let me repeat. Hated the fact they put Prince in his movie as far as the music. This was not his idea. He cringes every time he hears Prince music in his movie. As great as it fits, Tim Burton had the burden of having to deal with this by force. After being told he has total autonomy of anything he wants in this movie. No, one thing he didn't have control over is, if you know anything about Tim Burton, Hans Zimmer, I don't, was it Hans that did his music? It might be Danny. It might have been Danny Elfman. I can't remember. It might have been Danny Elfman. Okay. I don't know. But off the top of my head, but Danny, I believe, did all of his sounds. So all the sounds, the music you hear from Beetlejuice, the music you heard in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, all of these songs and sound effects. And even when they had to have music, he wanted the Joker to have a theme more than just a song, to make it was making him look more and taking away from the grit of the movie, he thought. So they used, and before they can get the music approved, they had to bring Prince in so he could see some of the stills and work with him. And they were surprised by how excited he was to work on Batman. Like, he was all in. And they said, okay, we're looking for just 2 songs. That's it. Batman wasn't even going to be a soundtrack. Prince was just going to make some original music, and then they were going to make, like, okay, we got that, and then we'll have some, instrumentals of the sounds of the movie. Nope. Prince comes back with like 9, 10 songs ready to go for the movie. And it's like, what is this? Oh man, now we got to deal with this. So he puts in 200 balloons for the balloon scene that he saw when they were showing him stills of what they were shooting. Now, they had 1999 by Prince and another song by Prince for the 2 scenes in the movie where the songs of Prince would be used. And that's when Jack Nicholson was on the float and in the restaurant scene, the art museum. So, when he comes in and does his introduction, and yes, I am exhausted right now. I don't know when you guys will see this video. Might be days later. And I'll be completely energized by then. But at the time this was made, you're looking at 14 straight hours. Just so you can know, I put my all into everything. So, anyway, Burton is like, why do we have to do this? Warner Brothers trying to keep Prince happy because they know they're in a power struggle with him. They haven't had the best relationship. This is the best that they can do with him right now, is to put him on there, and you got another star, and the star power of Prince goes a long way. He carries a big stick. And if you guys want to support the page, definitely hit up my Cash App, which is Carcino, and definitely hit the like button. Now, Burton, was sent another song after he turned down 200 Balloons. Said, I don't think this music fits the theme. And he's like, people get me wrong. I don't hate Prince. I love Prince. I just didn't want him and didn't think his music fit this film. So Trust comes out by Prince. And he kind of likes Trust and said, okay, we'll take Trust. If I got to take Trust at 200 Balloons, I'm taking Trust. And Party Man was, included in the song. And that was fine. And he just didn't like the fact he was being told what to do. And then for the sequel, they said, well, Prince would, he did the two sides. He did the Bruce Wayne side, and that's what he wanted to do. He said, I'm doing a music video for Bat Dance, which is the theme song for the whole movie. And it's going to be a contrast of two styles. So the music is going to be more towards Bruce Wayne's side. And then you're going to see the Joker side. So when he had his Two-Face, that's what he was representing. The Bruce Wayne side and the Joker side. So some of the songs on the soundtrack was going to be more relative to Bruce Wayne and some to the Joker. Now Prince was dating like 3 different chicks at the time. Like he was dating this singer named Joy, and he took some of the songs that was meant for Joy that she had recorded on that they was working on together. He took some of that music and just changed the words around and put Vicky Vale in there, and there you have it. It was a Batman song. And some of these songs didn't come out until the year 2000 when he put out and when it did a tour called Raven to the Joy Fantastic. And that was the name of the girl, Joy, and that he had dated back in like 88, 89, who was like a singer of his that he was working with. Then, when he got there, he started hooking up with Kim Basinger, who played Vicky Vale. And then they started sleeping around. So now he's got Prince sleeping around with his castmates. This is not a good idea if you're Tim Burton. You don't like it. This is not a good scene for you. But unable to do anything about it because Warner Brothers is controlling the show, even though they've given him the false sense of security that everything is going just fine. Everything's great. Don't worry about nothing. So, with that false sense of security, you have 13 people who come there a day just to see Prince. Like, is Prince gonna be here today? Like the cast members, Robert Wall, and a lot of the extras and the guys who was on the set. They're hanging around because they want to see if Prince is gonna show up. So when everything wrapped and they survived this, Warner Brothers suggested for the sequel, let's see if we can get Prince to play Two-Face. They once again was at a standstill with Prince, and they thought this would be a great idea to pass through Tim Burton, and this would work out perfect because they've seen Prince actually as Two-Face. Tim Burton is going in a different direction of Danny DeVito playing the Penguin. And it says the Penguin is a bigger character. It was like, well, as a side character, can we bring in Harvey Dent as Two-Face? We'll have Prince play this side character that we saw in the Bat Dance video. And then we can have Prince do the soundtrack. He was not on board for another Prince being on the soundtrack. Nothing with this. And he was very adamant about it. To the point that they all agreed Prince would have nothing to do with the new Batman, the second wave. And because it was such a success and they had Tim Burton involved, they didn't want to rock this boat. So they left Prince off of it and out of it, and they moved forward. The movie didn't live up to what a lot of people thought the expectation should be. It made a lot of money, but as far as the enjoyment of the film, they thought it felt flat. The ending felt flat. Everything was just a mess. But the way the look was and the characters, everybody was on point. They liked the way new Catwoman was. They loved the way the Penguin looked. And that became the movie. The script just fell apart near the end. So after this, Burton was basically done with the Batman saga and wanted to go do other things. Felt compromised. But yes, Prince was considered to play Two-Face in the Batman saga. Absolutely. So don't forget to subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell, and select all. That way you get all your notifications here at YouTube. And definitely check out my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. You can click the link in the description box and get there. And once again, if you want to donate to the page, you can hit the Cash App up. My name is Carcino. Thank you for your time.